The Lexus ES EV 2026 is finally here, and let me tell you, this car feels like a glimpse into the future of what luxury sedans can be. When you first see it roll up, it doesn't scream at you. It doesn't shout for attention the way some brands do with overly aggressive styling. Instead, the 2026 Lexus ES EV just kind of glides into view with a sense of quiet confidence, the way someone walks into a room already knowing they belong there. It has that understated luxury vibe that Lexus has been perfecting for decades, but now wrapped around an all-electric powertrain that promises up to 300 miles of range. And yes, they even added a PHEV option for folks who aren't quite ready to give up the gas pump completely. Stick with me because this car has a few surprises up its sleeve that you're really going to want to hear about. From the outside, the Lexus ES EV 2026 keeps a lot of the graceful sedan proportions that made the ES so popular in the first place, but now it looks more aerodynamic and futuristic. The front grille, which has always been a signature for Lexus, has been reimagined for an EV. Instead of needing to gulp down air for cooling, the 2026 ES EV uses a sleeker, closed-off design with subtle patterning that catches the light. It almost looks like a piece of modern sculpture, and when you see it under showroom lights, it's mesmerizing. The headlights are razor-thin, almost like blades stretching into the fenders, and they give the car this sharp, high-tech expression. Walk around the side and you notice how smooth the profile is. No wasted lines, just a flowing silhouette that screams efficiency. The roofline gently tapers toward the back, but it still keeps that roomy sedan feel instead of going full coupe. And when you get to the rear, the taillights stretch across with a connected light bar, something that's become trendy, but here it feels tastefully done. Honestly, park this car next to a Tesla Model S or a Mercedes EQE, and the Lexus ES EV 2026 holds its own with quiet elegance. The wheels deserve their own mention because Lexus put a lot of thought into them. You can get aerodynamic alloys that reduce drag, but they don't look boring like on some EVs. Instead, they look like intricate jewelry pieces, perfectly matching the upscale vibe. Even the door handles pop out flush, giving it that futuristic, clean look. And if you're wondering about colors, Lexus knows their audience. You've got your classic black and white options, but there's also this deep midnight blue that shimmers differently depending on the light. It's the kind of car you'll want to admire from every angle before you even step inside. Now, when you do step inside the Lexus ES EV 2026, this is where the magic really happens. Lexus interiors have always been about comfort and craftsmanship, and this one raises the bar. The moment you open the door, you're greeted with soft, ambient lighting that almost feels like it's welcoming you home. The seats are wrapped in premium leather, or if you go for the eco-conscious trim, you get high-end synthetic materials that are surprisingly soft and durable. Either way, the craftsmanship is top-notch. The stitching is perfect, the materials are carefully chosen, and every button and surface feels solid and deliberate. The centerpiece is the massive infotainment screen, which stretches across the dashboard but never feels overwhelming. It's crisp, bright, and finally super intuitive. Lexus listened to complaints about clunky infotainment systems, and now you get a touch interface that's quick, with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto that just work. No fuss, no lag. And here's something you'll love. The voice assistant is way smarter than before. You can say things like, "I'm cold," and it adjusts the climate, or "Find me a coffee shop," and it pulls up suggestions instantly. It feels like talking to an actual assistant, not fighting with outdated software. The sound system is pure Lexus brilliance. The Mark Levinson audio setup is like sitting inside a private concert hall. If you're someone who loves listening to music on drives, you'll get lost in the detail, from the deep bass to the crystal clear highs. It's one of those features that makes long road trips something you look forward to instead of dread. Speaking of road trips, the rear seats are roomy enough for adults to actually relax in. This isn't one of those EVs where the sleek roofline sacrifices comfort. Passengers get plenty of legroom and headroom, and if you opt for the higher trims, heated and ventilated seats in the back. Imagine being chauffeured in silence with only the hum of the electric motor. It's blissful. Let's talk about performance because this is where a lot of people are curious. The Lexus ES EV 2026 comes with a dual motor setup on the higher trims, giving you all-wheel drive and quick acceleration. 0 to 60 happens in just under 6 seconds, which is impressive for a luxury sedan that's not trying to be a sports car. If you want the single-motor version, it's slightly slower but still plenty quick for everyday driving. The most important thing is how it feels behind the wheel. When you press the accelerator, it's smooth, linear, and quiet. There's no hesitation, no gear shifts, just pure electric glide. It makes city driving effortless and highway cruising almost too easy. But wait till you hear this. Lexus tuned the suspension to balance comfort and handling in a way that feels almost magical. The car soaks up bumps like they don't exist, yet when you throw it into a curve, it stays planted and composed. It doesn't feel floaty and it doesn't feel stiff. It feels just right. It's the kind of ride where you finish a long drive and you're not exhausted, you're refreshed. That's a big deal because luxury should be about how you feel, not just how fast you can go. Range is always the big question with EVs, and the Lexus ES EV 2026 delivers. On a full charge, you're looking at about 300 miles, which puts it right up there with the competition. And thanks to fast charging capability, you can go from 20% to 80% in just over half an hour if you find the right charger. For daily life, that means you'll rarely feel range anxiety. And if you're someone who isn't ready to go full electric, Lexus has you covered with the PHEV option. That gives you around 50 miles of pure electric driving, perfect for city commutes, and then the gasoline engine kicks in for longer trips. It's like having the best of both worlds while you ease into the EV lifestyle. Safety has always been a Lexus strength, and the ES EV 2026 doesn't hold back. You get the full Lexus Safety System Plus suite, which includes adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist, blind spot monitoring, and a really advanced pre-collision system that even detects pedestrians at night. The car practically drives itself in heavy traffic, keeping you centered and maintaining distance without drama. It's not fully autonomous, of course, but it makes your commute so much less stressful. There's also a new driver monitoring system that ensures you're paying attention, so you can't just zone out while the car does all the work. Now, let's talk price because that's where decisions get serious. The Lexus ES EV 2026 starts around $55,000 for the base model, and if you want the fully loaded dual-motor luxury trim with the Mark Levinson sound, premium materials, and all the bells and whistles, you're pushing into the $70,000 range. The plug-in hybrid version sits in between, starting closer to $50,000. When you compare that to a Tesla Model S, which can easily climb past $90,000, or a Mercedes EQE, which often pushes into the $80,000 territory, the Lexus ES EV feels like a bargain for what you're getting. Of course, competitors are tough. Tesla still has the charging network advantage, BMW has the i5 with sharp driving dynamics, and Mercedes offers that ultra-modern EQ interior. But Lexus plays a different game. It's not trying to out-tech Tesla or outflash Mercedes. Instead, the 2026 Lexus ES EV focuses on delivering a balanced package: long range, quiet luxury, effortless driving, and Lexus reliability that buyers trust. That's a big deal because EVs are still new territory for a lot of people, and Lexus brings a sense of reassurance. Are there downsides? Well, sure. The trunk space isn't as massive as some competitors thanks to the battery layout. And while the infotainment system is much improved, some might still find Tesla's minimalist approach cleaner. Plus, if you're someone who loves extreme acceleration, this isn't the car that's going to throw you back in your seat like a Model S Plaid. But honestly, that's not what the Lexus ES EV 2026 is about. It's about delivering everyday luxury in a package that makes sense. Here's the verdict. The Lexus ES EV 2026 is a car that doesn't just join the EV world, it elevates it with Lexus's signature style. It's beautiful to look at, serene to drive, packed with thoughtful features, and priced in a way that makes it very competitive. The PHEV option adds flexibility, and the all-electric version proves that you don't have to compromise luxury for sustainability. If you're someone who values comfort, reliability, and understated elegance, this might just be the perfect next car for you. So, if you've been waiting for a luxury electric sedan that feels familiar but also futuristic, the Lexus ES EV 2026 should definitely be on your radar. And if you enjoyed this review, make sure to subscribe for more car reviews. We've got plenty more exciting models to talk about. And trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next.